We're going to make some quick enhancements to our dashboard page, which at the moment is far too boring to be enjoyable. So let's make some enhancements to these widgets to make them look a little bit more modern and to see how they work. So let's go to our main widget here called, well, card at the moment. And we're going to make some changes here. So let's just make an instance here. So maybe we don't want this grey background. We're going to offer like a drop shadow on here, and so we're going to need a white background and a drop shadow. Now we don't have white in our system at the moment as far as I remember. No, right, so we're going to have to add basic white here, which is going to be grey 100, which is the brightest grey we got, which is basically white, so grey 0 will be black. And then we want to change that, so we're going to change this reference of the color card BG we did previously. We're going to change that into grey 100, and now we have all our cards have a white background, but we do want to add a shadow on it, so we're going to have to add an effect here. Let's just make it directly on top, but let's make this much larger. There we go. And let's make this weaker so it doesn't look so strong, and it's a very modern light hover style, like hovering card style, bit of depth. Okay, now this, we probably want to add this to our design system, which we just click here, and the name will be shadow M, basic shadow, for example. Okay, now we have our shadow M available. Now what we need to do is work on a little bit on the content. So what we're going to do here is, from the card, we're actually going to create a we've called it a card. We're going to create a another type of pattern extracted from this one. We're going to create another pattern which is of common use, which I'm going to show you now, which could be a flashcard showing key numbers, KPIs, etc. So we're going to need some content in here, so let's just write some dollar value, 4,321, for example, oops, in bold, and underneath we've got this is up 20% from last month, right? This is a revenue card, for example. Let's make this one small, and this one can stay medium. Okay, add those to a frame, and this is a very common pattern actually, which I'm going to show you now. Let's just call this text plus the description, or not text title, and you could call this a text block or whatever you want to call it, content block. It's up to you. And I'm going to make a component out of this, which means I'm going to have to, which means I can reuse it, right? So this one is actually going to be title, and this will be description, and we use this pattern a lot. That's why it's worth making it into a component, and then from an instance of that, then I would add my localized content, right? So this one was whatever, plus 10% from last month, just for example. But this pattern is a comment, so we should create one. And this pattern is a use case of that, and there could be plenty of these. Now what I want to do here, we need to, this has got the instance in, so we're going to have to create whatever this content is going to be will need to be an instance, and in this case we need to create a new component from this so that we can put it into our card here. So I'm going to create a component, and I'm going to call this one content revenue, well, more generically I'm going to call it content, actually I think we can get away without doing this. We don't need to abstract that far. Let's try it this way instead. This is going to become our new component. It's going to be called card dot KPI, for example. Abstract it even more. So now this is a KPI, for example. And let's change this to a bar chart or something similar. And let's change this to be some kind of editable menu so we can edit this. So now we have a new component actually called card.kpi. This is a child of card, but we can use this one a lot. And what we're going to do here is we're going to link this via the instance. We're just going to use this generic text block, content text plus description. Okay. Obviously that's too close, so we're going to have to set our padding. Now what we have here is a child component of the parent card with its own name, right? So we can use this again and again, as you can see, like this and this, and we just change the content and we already have a good pattern. So this pattern we're going to move into some kind of block of patterns. I'm going to call it text blocks, for example. It's up to you what you call it. Let's put that in our docs page. Text blocks. And there's one, and we should document that. Okay, let's go back to our card. And we have now this instance, which is called a card.kpi. Now, it could have been a variant of this one, and maybe we'll do that later on. For now, I'm keeping it on the cards page, which is not the card, but an instance of, and this one's called card.kpi. So now we can use this one. And in fact, could be even more generic. It will be this will be even more generic, and you could create a KPI one with that data in. If you wanted a specific KPI one, you can call it that. So this would be total, and this would be difference. If we wanted to create a card, really a KPI card, which is what we've called it. So this one definitely is a KPI card. It's not more generic or less. So this is a KPI card, total and difference. And I'm going to use this one in our home page. Right? So let's just replace one. Let's replace all of these. So now I can put my KPI card in here. Actually, I can do that with all of these. And they're all now KPIs, right? Whatever that is. So, and then I would change the text. Revenue 54,000. Plus 5 on last month, for example. This one could be just sales. I mean, it's up to you. It can be whatever you want. Of 60,000, up 10%, which is pretty good. And then so on. Now, what I can do here is add a new row. Let's just change the layout a little bit. This one has 2 cards. Let's see what we have here. Let's make this one fill the row so we can have a slightly different layout. And this one, we can call this one subscriptions. Yeah, plus 40, whatever, plus 10%. Okay, now if we go to our prototype, we have more of a dashboardy looking. Let's just go in and fix this because I think here we've got something overlapping. This needs to go to fill, which we should do in the parent, of course. You would go to your card KPI, go to the main, drill into the card and make sure that is fill and not set width. Okay. Let's go back to our instance here. And now we have a little layout. Maybe you want more padding, you can change the padding, but now we have a little bit more interesting looking home page and dashboard. And depending on how you want to change this, you can add it here if you wanted more padding, or you can add it on the page itself there, or you can add it in the grid, so you have control over the spacing here. And that will be up to you. This might be a bit tight, so we might want to increase it. And you would just do that by you've got your gap here, for example, you can increase that if you want. And if you want to increase your gap here, you can do it this way. Right? So there's quite a few options here. And on the rows, I've hidden that row, but this row, let's just increase the gap, just show how it works. See? And then if you wanted to add a gap here, you can add a gap here. Small, small. Of course, then these all have to fill, so it doesn't overlay. Okay, and if you go back to your prototype, you'll see it has a little bit more layout, but that's obviously up to you. Okay, so now we've tidied up our dashboard a little bit and created new components, which looks very nice. Let's get on and build some more stuff.